Hey everyone, welcome back to another week here on my channel. Today we're going to be picking up where we left off last week. If you'll recall, last week we were making some really cute fabric clusters out of the stamped fabrics that we had done. And today we're going to be working on using some more of those stamped images to make fabric flips. So I did a couple of things last week after we were off camera, and if you'll recall, I wanted to use these two images that were stamped on red, and so I went ahead and did them. Now you'll note that these don't follow that formula. This one only has the two layers, the stamped fabric, and I sewed it onto the strip. This one, I only used the 3 layers, so I have the stamped image, a piece of lace, and then the base, and they still look really cute. So as I demonstrated so well last week, you can shake it up, you can mix it up and do it however you want. Another thing I did while I was off camera was to take the little pieces that I had cut off of the strips and things that we were using, and I made a couple of these stitched pockets. They're kind of like a quilted fabric pocket. Have a little bit of a crazy quilt look there. This one's going to be going into that journal that I have been working on, and this is a spare one to have in my stash. So I just tacked them down a little bit with some glue stick and sewed them onto some random pieces of cardstock that I have. And you can't even tell, because when these get glued on a page, these will be glued down, but these are going to make pockets. And this is one of those fabric pieces that ripped funny, but I just trimmed off the excess over here and then stitched on, and you kind of can't tell that it was not quite square when it ripped. So those are some fun things to do with your scraps. Take a moment to get your drink, get yourself comfy, and meet me right back here at the craft table, and then we'll get started. So I wanted to mention that when you are making these in advance, one of the best things to do is kind of have a standard size in mind so that you know that these are going to fit on a page. A lot of journals or book covers tend to be a 9x6 size. That's a good general size. There's a lot of journal makers out there who use that as their size. I know that the little golden books, I believe, are 7 1/4 wide. So if you work within these dimensions, it'll still fit on a little golden book page, or you can just make them a little bit wider if that's all you use are little golden books. I think they're like 8 by 7 1/4 or something like that. I'm not going to grab one to measure it, but just keep in mind your standard size that you like to use. So I'm just going to work mine around a 9x6 cover, because I know that anything I make to fit in that size will work in any journal that I make. If you have a 9x6 cover, then your pages are going to be a little bit smaller. They're going to be roughly 8.5 by 5.5 wide. And that means I want to make my fabric flips about 7.5 long by 4.5 wide. Okay? So those are my dimensions I'm working with today. Or, as I pointed out in my last video on making fabric flips, I just will sometimes just take a sample page and then rip my fabric to match the size of the page. But today we're going to go 7.5 by 4.5 as the base. So 4.5 inches. My mat is upside down. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Now, from previous experience with this fabric, it doesn't rip very straight, so I'm going to go just slightly wider because I know it's going to rip crookedly. But I really like this fabric. Really, really like it. I found this at a thrift store a while back, and I have used it for so many things. I probably wouldn't make an outfit out of it because it's very see-through, but it works really great for all of these craft projects. Okay, so that's 4.5 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 lengthwise. Okay, yeah, that was it. It does not rip that way. This is interesting fabric. Pretty, but kind of tricky to work around. So there's my base. Then when you have these little pieces that you're cutting off, you can use these to layer up on other fabric flips. So it's kind of handy. Or make more of those pockets, or use some of those clusters that we just worked on. Those little scraps are pretty handy for a lot of things. So there's one 7.5 by 4.5. And I'm going to make this one a base. And I'm just going to use this, the one that I just measured, as a template because it's so much easier. And I'm probably going to make 2 of these bases because I also want to use this in something, and I think that would look really pretty on there. So I'm going to go do double duty on this one. That away. And then it looks like I can fold this in half and I'll get 2. Yeah. It's long enough to do 2, so that's nice. Okay. Long enough to do 2, and then I think I would also like to grab a piece of the gray. I'm going to run, obviously, the lines vertically. This one has a lot of edges that aren't straight, so I'm going to try to straighten it up a little bit as I rip it, if that's possible. There we go. Now we have 4. Okay, so if I want these to be my top, let's see, I want to put you here. Can you guys see? I need to zoom out. Hold on a second. Making sure I can get all of these in frame. There we go. Okay, better. And then this cute little girl. I'm going to just center these up. Sometimes I go to the left, sometimes I put my focal point on the right, but today we're just going to go center. And one thing I did when I cut these out was I left a little space above the image, because when you're putting them in a fabric flip, you're going to be sewing or gluing or stapling or something across the top. So you want to leave a little headroom so that your image is still visible after you've fastened everything across the top. So that's important to remember. Now the next layer I like to do is some lace. So let's start with, I really want to use some of this eyelet, and let's see who it's going to look prettiest with. Is it going to look pretty there, or is it going to look prettier here? I kind of want a little contrast, and I think I'm going to put it on the blue. And then you just cut this one slightly narrower, maybe just a little bit wider than your focal point. You're going to be layering these up if you haven't seen this done before, but I'm going to assume that most of you have. So there's that one. And then let's see. I like this piece of curtain. I don't know if it's wide enough to use over here. I'm not sold on it. I have this piece of blue as well. I don't think blue is going to go with any of these that I'm doing today. It might go with this one. I have to look closely. Hold on. It might go with that one. Especially if I take out some of the stitching. There we go. I'm just ripping it. It's going to get sewn up here and layered up, so it probably won't matter. How does that look under there? Too blue. Darn, I really wanted to use it, but we can use it on another one. So let's set these aside. And let's see. Oh, I have this pretty one. Nope, not big enough. Why, we're just eliminating as we go. Here's this one. Sometimes I will run my lace across, and so that may be what I do here. And then I'll put another fabric underneath this, so we'll leave that like that. And then this one has a lot of, it's very thick, so it has a lot of visual interest to it. I'm going to try it on this one right here. It's kind of ratty around the edges. So I think what I want to do is maybe trim around those flowers a little bit. And then we're going to toss this. So if that is the base, yeah, see how it's all raggedy across the top too? I'm just going to trim that up a little bit nicer so it's easier to work with. There we go. That's pretty. Adds a nice textural element to that, doesn't it? See, you're staying in the middle. Okay, stay in the middle. You might have to go off to one side because of this lace being not quite wide enough. I guess I could make him narrower. Hey, there's an idea. Let's do that. How much narrower can I go? There, that'll do. And I might be able to go just a little bit shorter. Now I'm a little off center from this side. Yeah, so as I'm filming this, we have finished week 1 of the renovation, and I am filming. I think I mentioned that last time too. I am filming in stages. It's been interesting. We're very tired, and we haven't done any of the work. We had the demo done, so a lot of stuff was ripped out. So right now we're living without 2 bathrooms. However, in our master, we do still have the use of the shower, which is super helpful. And then the other bathroom that our girls used to use, that is being referred to as the guest bath. This is crooked. Do I care? Am I gonna care, guys? Do I really care? I kind of care. The guest bath, so that one is completely gone. We're not changing out the tub or shower surrounds. We like them how they are, and they're still in good shape, so we're keeping that, which is helpful. But 2 out of our 3 toilets are gone, and then of course the bathrooms that we're doing are both of the ones upstairs. So we are working out of the downstairs bathroom, which is what I call the guest bath, and it's a half bath. It's only got a pedestal sink and a toilet. So it's been very interesting because my whole kitchen is gone. I don't have my microwave. I don't have my hot water tap. I don't have an oven. I don't have my toaster oven hooked up even because there's really nowhere to put it. And I don't have my, what else? Dishwasher, of course. So we're washing dishes out of a dish tub and using a plastic pitcher to run hot water from the sink in the half bath and fill up the dish tub with some soapy water and then have a bucket to rinse in. And we're doing all that outside. So really we're trying not to get any dishes dirty. We're just either grabbing something that is portable and disposable from the store or you know, sometimes we go grab something fast food. We don't want to eat out a lot because that is expensive, but we're just trying to eat things that are reasonably healthy and that are easy to just sit down and eat because I can't heat anything up. So we made some chicken and vegetables on the Traeger, and now we have no way to reheat them. So we're just going to eat cold chicken strips and zucchini, grilled zucchini, which probably won't be that bad, but let's see. I have a little bit of eyelet over here. This one, I think I had coffee dyed that one. This one is just your plain ivory eyelet, so it needs to have enough contrast, and I don't know that it does between here and here. It's too much the same, but it might be okay over here. I've got a lot of lacy frou-frou on this one. Lacy frou-frou, it's a technical term. I don't know. I don't think I like that. Okay, you will not be getting used today. I have this pretty one though, and then I had, where is it? I thought I took it out. Where is it? Ah, yes. Ah, yes, yes, yes. I had this strip that looks like the bottom half of a slip, like pre-assembled slip. That'd be really cute on Holly Hobby, wouldn't it? A slip. Let's trade up. Let's put this over here. And this right here, and I think I'm gonna call that one done for the moment until I find something to run across the top to finish it off. But yeah, that's super cute, isn't it? Okay, let's, I'm gonna go a little narrower, I think. Yes, right there. This just reminds me of an old-fashioned ladies slip from like the 20s or 30s when they were using muslin and really lightweight cottons to make their undergarments. And then they would pre-sew them like this. This one is obviously not that old, but that's what it reminds me of. I don't know if you guys can hear my fan rattling in the back. I'm sorry if you do, but it's hot in here right now. And I have it on the lowest speed, but it may still be too loud. Let's see, guys. So this, as you can see, is a little bit shorter in length from these. You kind of really want to layer these up, kind of stagger them or stack them, like this one here. Short, a little bit longer, very long. This is super long. I don't know, when I put it in the book, I may wind up just trimming that off. But for now, I'm gonna leave it how it is. So on this one's not as obvious because I have this longer piece under there as well. But I think on this one, I definitely want something longer under there. So let me go see what I've got. What do I have? And then under this, I want a pink of some sort. Okay, I have here. Don't know, I'm just gonna try this out. I don't know that that's gonna look good under there. I'm looking at the browns, but if not, I think I have another one that will work. I have this one that I think actually will work very nicely. And then you kind of have that mix of feminine softness with this and the flowers and a little bit more rugged with the plaid. That's cool. So where do I want you to line up? I want you to line up right about here. Again, it's very helpful to have these lines to cut against. Again, I don't know why I'm saying again. I said it in the last video. You're supposed to remember that, right? It's very helpful to have these lines to cut against. And this guy's kind of wrinkly, so I think I'm going to try to cut off some of those wrinkles. Cut it right about here. Let's see how that looks with the plaid and the flowers and the lace and the cute little girls. Love those little girls. I bought this stamp way back in the 90s at a local stamp store, and I just loved it because I have two girls, and so every time I looked at it, it made me think of them. Of course, I didn't dress them like Laura Ingalls Wilder as they are in this, but it always made me think of sisters. So, big sister, little sister, so cute. And I love it. Now what I was gonna use, oops, excuse me. What I was gonna use across the top was a piece of this. So, I think this piece will look okay here. I don't know that I want any of it for this one, but I might, okay. I could use some on this though. So I'm gonna cut off this finished edge, because it's very awkward to, well, am I? Yeah, it's going to be too wide anyway. So it's a little awkward to sew around that. And I'm going to get it as wide as I possibly can, this strip. I am going to save this only because you can layer it up on top of something like a tag or whatever and add a little texture. So if I hang on to it for a while and I still can't get it used up, then I will toss it. See that, how that looks? I'm going to line that up, and then I'm probably still going to trim off a little bit of that excess on that one anyway, because there's not enough headroom here. Although maybe if I change up my girls, change up who's where, it might work before I go to doing all that. It also makes kind of a cute little ruffle right there, like a finished edge almost. What do you guys think? Let me see how it looks from your end. I'm not sure that really does anything, does it? Not sure it's giving the contrast I want. Maybe if I use the green one on that and use that one on that. Scoot things over a bit so you can really see what I'm doing. Okay. All right. Do I want it that way or this way? This is one of those projects where I don't mind fussing a little bit. So we're going to make that the finished edge on this one, the finishing piece. There's that. Okay, I like that I moved these around. And then I'm going to make this, it's still too, gotta figure out where this lines up. It covers up the balloon. Honestly, I think that might be fine, but I am going to try it with the brown side down because it almost looks like a trim, you know, when I do it that way. Or should I just have a little bit of everything on there? Yeah, I kind of like it like that. Very often when I put on the finishing piece, I don't go all the way across, but today I am because I just thought it would be nice to do. No rhyme or reason. Okay, so these two are done. They're going to be ready to be sewn. There we go. See, and even though they have similar elements, they're completely different. Just get a different feeling out of both. Now, okay, let's find you. You need some pink. And this one needs something, I would say, in between and on top. So pink. Now, the only pink I really have is this, but I don't know that that really goes. It's not thrilling my heart. So we're gonna say no to that. Oops. Where did I? I set these over here and then I proceeded to lose them and get them all messed up already. Where can I put you? I'll put you down here. Here we go. Okay, so that pink is a no. This pink is a maybe though. Is that too much stripey with stripey? I don't know. What if the stripes went this way? Is that distracting? I'm looking more for the colors than anything. I don't know. I think that kind of works. All right, we're doing it. And I think I'm going to change up what lace is under there maybe. I've got threads all over, little frayed edges. Now this is not straight across the top, but it's straighter than this one, this end. So I'm going to trim that up. So it's a little bit straighter there. Now, did that mess up my direction though on my pattern? Yes, a little bit. Little bit. Little bit. Okay, then let's just trim it up here too. Took a chance on that. Sometimes they don't rip very nicely when you have such a small amount. Here's that. I want this to show, this bouquet to show more. And that means I could actually lengthen this piece of lace, little contrast, and put her right there. Sometimes I run them across, sometimes I run them down. I think in this instance, the vertical direction looks better. And then what I want to put on it, it's either this or this. And this looks a little too vibrant, although it would be really cute, but this is nice and soft. So let's use this one. Look at that. Look how sweet. Oh my goodness. So sweet. Which way's up? This one's harder to tell. It's a very flat lace. Oh, so darling. So darling. Okay. That's going to look really cute in that journal. Now, where'd my pin go? I put it in my catch-all dish so I wouldn't lose it. There we go. Okay, she's ready to be sewn. Got a couple extra threads there. Let's take that off. Did I finish what I was saying about the reno? Okay, so yeah, we're without the bathrooms. We're using one single sink down there. Ooh, it's interesting. I was going to talk on camera a little bit about the, not on this camera, but when I do the video, just about the different inconveniences of what to expect. Because if some of you have never done a reno, it is exciting, it is interesting, but you know, there's a lot of hassle involved too. So I wouldn't say it's all fun and games, because it's not. And if you're not prepared for that, then it can really wear on you. Okay, this one needs... Okay, I put that lace under there. I can't see it. Yeah, so if you aren't prepared to be a little bit inconvenienced, especially if you have to stay and live through it, which I would say most of us probably do a little bit. Not everyone can afford to go to a hotel while the reno is going on. We don't all get Property Brothers to come and do our renovations. You know, and on those shows they're required to leave. And it takes months. It's not quick. Okay, maybe that will work better now that I made that narrower, because I really like that lace. I really wanted to keep the lace. Yeah, so there are inconveniences. But we still, at the end of the day, get to go sleep in our own bed, which is very nice, very comforting, and still use our own shower. And, you know, we still have the conveniences of being in a first world country, meaning I can go to the grocery store and get food. We have Albertsons here, and one of them is very large. It's the Albertsons Marketplace, and they kind of developed it to compete with World Market. No, not that one. Whole Foods, I mean. Whole Foods. So you can go, and they have the whole bar there to get dinner and everything, which is actually very handy. And then they have live entertainment and all of that. We call it Fancy Al's. So we had dinner at Fancy Al's the other night, and that was good. And you can get something reasonably healthy there too. I feel like I want something, I don't normally do 5, but I want something between here and here. I don't know if I have anything. I may want to go with some brown, huh? I wonder. This isn't big enough, but let's pretend like it was this long. How would that look? Would that look okay? I don't think I want that, but I think I want something. And I think I don't want to mess around too long to figure out what it is. Hold on, I'll get it. I'll get it. I know I will. I have some little scraps over here. I even broke out some double knit polyester scraps that came from the thrift store. I don't know if Holly Hobby warrants double knit polyester. I mean, nothing should be... See, that wouldn't even show up anyway. But that's the color I want. Oh, I have a solid. I have this solid. It's got a little texture to it, and then I could go horizontally with it. I would trim this up, of course, with that. You know, sometimes you need a solid to break up all the pattern and all the texture and all the design. I like this, this, and this. I don't like that. I have been known to do 2 kinds of lace under there, but I don't think I want to do that today. Well, meanwhile, the clock is ticking. Oh. Maybe. This was from a piece of extra wide eyelet. And so the pretty pieces have been trimmed off, but you've got this little bit of design in the middle. And let's see, because then we'd have white, and then we would have this. Maybe you need to come down a bit more. Got a lot of long layers on this one. I still really kind of thought I wanted the blue. What if we do it like that? So this layer's a little shorter. You know, that tan is just not doing it for me. I wish it was. It just needs something, another color that's solid. I'll have to stop the camera temporarily and go find something, so I'll be right back. Okay, I did find something. I found this. It was actually sitting on my table, so that's a nice one. So I'm going to figure out, I think I want it to go across this way so that these guys can hang down. Yep, that's what it needed. It just needed something a little darker and a little more contrast. So, hurrah, success. Needs to be a little bit more trimmed up over here. Goodness. Trimming all the frayed edges. Yeah. Do I want it under or over? Under, I think. I think. He just needs to peek out. No, over. over. So there's a little more distinction between this white and this white background, is what I'm thinking. Let's put you in the middle. I still like this slip. Just sweet, 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 sweet. Okay, and then across the top, for my finishing act, my finishing edge, I do have some green, but I don't know if that's kind of not really. No. So I have this pink again. No. I have a white. Where is it? Here, let's do this one. This one's pretty all-purpose. How's that look to you guys? I need to get back in frame. Well, good gravy. Have I been doing that the whole time? Out of frame? That's annoying. Well, this might be a time to use this. I don't like it. I do not. Boy, we're gonna have another whole problem here in a minute. Okay, I know what I want, because I have a whole package of leftover lace pieces sitting over here. That's where I should be looking. I have this heart trim that I coffee dyed a long time ago. I have a big bunch of it too, but it always adds just the right touch at the end. I'm gonna trim it here because this one's not quite, that's not a whole heart. It's not wholeheartedly part of this project. Okay. There. Now I'm gonna go sew these off camera and come back and we will look at our completed fabric flips, and then we'll just sit around and admire them together. That's a little narcissistic, isn't it? And if there's anything we're all sick of right now, it's narcissists. They seem to exist everywhere. I'm finished with my sewing now, and here's what we've got. I just ran a double line of zigzag across here just to catch everything, keep it from fraying. So I went across once, pivoted, and came back. So here's this cute one with the girls. This one with the flowers. That one turned out really sweet. As did this one. This one turned out really pretty too. So this one's going in my friend's journal, so I'll set that aside. Here's the other Holly Hobby one. I just like this little addition of the plaid, so it kind of has, you know, a masculine and feminine all mixed together, little touch of lace. That turned out really cute. And then this one, I just grabbed some scraps. They were just laying here and I just layered them up. So it's a very long, skinny one. I didn't put it together on camera, obviously, but it turned out really cute. I just grabbed some scraps and threw that little guy on there, and then I put a button on a bulb pin, and that'll make a cute embellishment on a page, or, you know, at the top of a page, or maybe on a tag or something, but super cute. So that's what we have today. I hope you guys give these a try. They're really fun to do. It's a great way to use up some of those scraps and then practice stamping on fabrics and things and just play around. The one thing I did not do, which I had thought about doing, was to layer one of these that was stamped on a printed fabric, and I just didn't do it because I ran out of time. Maybe next time, huh? So today's quote, I actually have two. They're coming from this book, Patches of Godlight. Father Tim's favorite quotes. Now, Father Tim is a character that Jan Karen developed in the Mitford series. And if you haven't read them, they are delightful. They're one of my favorite series to read, and I go back from time to time and reread. But this is supposed to be Father Tim's journal where he keeps all of his quotes. And so you'll see it kind of looks like a handwritten journal in there. But our quote for today, the first one, is from Thomas Jefferson right here. It is wonderful how much may be done if we are always doing. And then the second one to go along with it is from Helen Keller. I long to accomplish a great and noble task, but it is my chief duty to accomplish small tasks as if they were great and noble. So as you're going through your day today or your week, think about what you can do and treat every task as though it were great and noble, and see how much you can get done if you keep doing. All right, until next week, be inspired and do something creative today. Catch you next week's video. Bye-bye.